Efe, long season, you need to have a rest before the World Cup?
Well, there's no time for rest. The work goes on.
If the manager offers you a week off, will you take it, Nick?
For me, I don't think I need a week off. But if you offer me, it's my choice. But at the same time, I always like to play, as I always say. I don't think I need a break or a rest. I always like playing football because I enjoyed it. Every time I wake up from bed, the first thing I think about is coming out to play football. So it has been in me since. So resting is like pushing me backward, but I don't really like it. But sometimes the body needs it. But for me, I always try not to, so that I won't get used to it.
When was the last time you had a holiday?
Well, I cannot remember. It's been long. When you start playing the national team, I don't think you have a break. Always after in the summer, you always be in the camp with the national team. Before you know, you have to come back for pre-season. So it's always like that for the past 4 or 5 years of mine.
And do you think that though it's probably sensible, because the manager has suggested that he will give some of the players a break because he's thinking ahead to the Champions League qualifiers?
Yeah, he's thinking, because right now we know we're done with the league, but at the same time we have to prepare, because we don't wait till July before we start preparing for the Champions League. The Champions League starts from now, so we start preparing right away. But at the same time, we still need to do a lot of work if we really want to do better than what we did this season. So that's the most important thing for us right now, to work harder, train harder, prepare well, because we know the Champions League qualifying playoff this time is not going to be an easy task for us, because it's never been easy playing the Champions League, and qualifying to the group stage is the most important thing for us right now. So we just have to work harder. With no time for rest, no time to do anything. We just have to prepare as a squad now to do better.
Tell us why you don't need a rest.
Because I'm Efe.
You're different from all the rest of the players.
I don't know, but I speak for myself.
Will the manager have to make you go away from the training ground for a period of time?
I think next week there is no game, so in between that I can have a days off. But saying 1 week, I don't really need that, because it's too much for me.
Do you think you'll be more prepared than maybe some of the other players for the Champions League starting, because you've been playing the World Cup in the summer?
No, but that is not on the scale, because them two, they have to go through the pre-season and train as a squad. But for me, I will just come in and fill in again. But at the same time, what I do is when I go back home, I still do a personal training, train with my team in Nigeria. Sometimes I play a little bit of game to keep myself in good shape, so that when I come, there's no time for me to start doing all the other runs and everything. I'm in good shape, so I just fill into the team and I continue with the program with the team.
You're going to be, obviously, before the World Cup, playing a friendly against Scotland. How much are you looking forward to that?
Well, it's one of those games again. But at the same time, it's going to be a tough game, because Scotland now, they have a good team, good players coming into the squad now, and they are playing better. For the past 5 games I've been watching them, they are doing very good. And as a Nigerian, we have a good squad. So I believe it's going to be a 2-way tie, but the best team will win that day.
Your reaction suggests that you've been having some discussions about this in the dressing room with Scott Brown.
Yes, of course, with Brady, but always it's kind of good thing. But at the same time, playing with him in the opposite side is going to be a hard thing, because it's kind of a player that really motivates the team. He has a spirit. He takes players along. He has quality to be a leader. So I believe he's going to help the Scotland, but at the same time, we put Celtic apart and we'll be in the opposite jersey. So it's going to be a different game at that time, but can't wait for it.
Do you think that game will be a good indicator of how good Scotland are if they can beat you, for example?
Well, if they can beat us is a question, but I don't think so.
Is that what you've told them in the dressing room?
Yeah, we always argue about it, but I don't think so. But it's going to be a good game, but I don't think so.
You talked there just before about the fact that you believe the Champions League qualifiers are the most important thing. How much do you think Celtic need to improve if you're to get to the group stages again? Well,
we've been doing this for the past 2 years I'm here. So I believe every time it gets difficult and more difficult, because every team wants to be there. So if you don't prepare well, you will not be there. And the managers always tell us, winning games is not easy. So you have to prepare for it, because every time we are here, everything is always told us is when you're in a big club, there's big responsibility, big pressure on winning games and all that things. So you have to prepare your mentality. So what he did to us is just psychs us, and he makes us understand that winning games is not easy. To win games, you have to prepare for it, you have to train well, you have to put your body in good shape. So many other things make you a better player. And what the coach always puts in us is great, because right here in Celtic, we're just like brothers, and we talk to each other in and off the pitch. So we are like family here, and he has been a key thing to the team.
Do you think the team needs some strengthening in the summer to help you get to the group stages?
Well, it's not for me to answer this, but the player we have right now can do it.
Your teammate Kyle criticised the standard of technical standard of the league. As a defender, as a player who's got to stop maybe the more technical players in the league, what have you made of the standard in the time you've been here?
Well, I don't know about this, but that is Beram, that is his own opinion, so I don't know. But for me, I believe the league is getting better day by day, because you can say last year, this year is a bit different. Aberdeen stepping in Inverness, so many teams coming up now to fill in into the space that they can win the title. It's a big, huge team for us, but at the same time, you have to be a better team to retain your title. So I believe we're just a better team right now, but the league standard is getting improving, and day by day, people want to really know what's going on in Scottish League, like what's playing the Champions League. In Africa, everybody knows Celtic. All around the world, because we always play in the Champions League, and I don't see why the Scottish League is not good. For me, it's a brilliant league. As I'm here, I'm becoming a better player, and they've helped me to become a better player than what I am when I was in Israel.
A lot of players this week have been deciding on their team of the year and their player of the year. Who have you've obviously made your own decision, who within Celtic is the best player you think from within Celtic and players you played against?
Well, I always want to keep it to myself, but
Just tell us.
no. For me, I always keep it to myself, but I know there's a couple of players that did great this season in Celtic and in other team in the league. So, but for me, I always go for my teammates. I always vote my teammates.
Let's be honest, it's Virgil, isn't it? Because you play next.
No, it's not about Virgil. It's not about Virgil. Virgil is someone that stepped into the shoes and he really made himself known. But at the same time, there's other players that have been doing great.
There's been a lot of talk about Virgil and the fact that he's done so well. Big clubs are looking at him. If he was to go this season, in the close season, how big a loss would that be for Celtic if he was to leave?
Well, this is football. Players go, players come. But sometimes you don't get as good as the one that left, or sometimes you get better than the one that left. So it's the same time, but it just do with the scouting team and the manager, what he wants to bring in, what he wants to fill in. But at the same time, if Virgil may leave, it's going to be a kind of loss that we lost Kelvin. But when Virgil stepped into the shoes, we never felt we missed Kelvin. So at the same time, we don't know. But if he eventually leave, I believe the scouting team and the manager will bring in someone that can fill the shoes again. And as you know, Celtic is a great club, and everybody wants to play for the green and white of Celtic, because it's a huge club, massive history, and winning trophies here is something amazing. Everybody wants to win trophies. So I believe once you come in Celtic, you have the chance to win trophies.